All right, we're here at the Wars 2010 Alterra Coffee Bean Classic. I'm here with Nathan Guerra. Number 1. How's it feel?
It feels really good. You know, this race is a home course, and I always usually have family or friends here, so it feels pretty good to do 2 in a row here. And I don't know, I felt really good today, and me and Darren had a lot of fun racing together. We really were putting little attacks in the single track on each other the whole time, and it was tons of fun. Yeah.
Now, I know, and Darren said it himself, it wasn't pretty much till the end of it as far as you pulling ahead. So where did that happen?
Okay, so Darren actually was pretty good in the single track today. I think his tires were a little better on the dust. It was really dry, and so the corners, I was kind of coming out a little bit on the corners. I think a little bit less PSI. I need a little less pressure. I put in a little too much today, and it would have been better. But the last lap, right before the HD line, right before the new single track, I made sure to get out front, put down a power bar, double caffeine, slammed a full bottle of water, and just ripped it as hard as I could. I bobbled once, Darren got back on, because I was getting a little bit of a gap in the single track. And then right before we hit the bottom of the climb, I just put my head down and said, okay, this is where it's got to happen. And right at the top of the climb, it gets flat for a second, and then you go all the way to the top, to the top of up over there, and it's really steep. And I saw that I had a good gap and just kept it steady. And I think Darren sat up because it was just too much, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to speak for him, but got my gap there and then just kept it as hard as I could right till the end. I actually crashed once over in the I think it's O'Malley's woods over there, and went down. I was like, oh no, is he coming? And I didn't see him coming, so then just kept it steady. Was able to ride in smooth and not have to kill myself up the finish line and put my arms up. So
as far as the heat's concerned, you said that you were able to slam some nutrition later in the race. I mean, was that a huge factor? Were you able to keep hydrated for most of the race?
Yeah, I would put a gel down. I put a power gel down and a whole bottle, like every time I put one down. And if I didn't, I could tell it was trouble. So every time I got a bottle in my hand, I pretty much put the whole thing in my stomach. It was definitely a race of hydration, and I stayed ahead of it this time. Finally think I figured out my cramps issue, because I've been getting them a couple times the last couple races. So yeah.
How about that $100?
Man, I was thinking about that all week. I'd be laying there thinking in bed, so like, okay, how am I gonna go about this, getting that and play it smart and whatever. And I went out, got the lead, wanted the whole shot right before the hill because it kind of gets narrow on the hill, kind of single tracky. And Brian totally did a awesome move to just edge me out of it. And I put in a couple guns to try and get around him, and he would shut the door. And after you do a couple of those, he got like a couple wheels on me, and then we just, we're all so evenly matched that he had that and a couple wheels, and I was stuck where I was. There wasn't much I could do about it at that point. We're all at our limit, and we all kind of sat up, I think, after that, and like, okay, recover until we got back up this hill, because we killed ourselves to try and get the $100. But grats to Brian, man. He really had a great lead out. He told me he did the cyclocross lead out, so.
As far as the other, I mean, was there any key points? I mean, was it able, I know you and Darren were there. I mean, you guys were up front for pretty much, the whole race for the most part. Was there any part in there that, you said you fell? Any other parts that kind of made a difference?
Darren made the break happen after the prologue lap in the single track out there. Once we went into Kevin's Heaven, down at the bottom of the hill. He just kept it pretty fast and steady, and Mike and Brian were there, but they fell off in that single track to the first lap. And then me and Darren just kind of kept it pretty steady all the way through. And the first 2 he led pretty much, and then the last one I made sure to get out in front of the single track. So that's pretty much how the race went until the last hill.
Well, congratulations. We'll see you in the next race at Geneva.
Looking forward to Lake Geneva. It's another climber, and there's some single track there, so hopefully we'll have a repeat. We'll see.
All right. Well, sounds good. We'll see you then.
Thanks a lot, Jim.
Yep.